We are 1 minute to launch, and we are orbiting the next 4 satellites in the O3b constellation, which Thales Alenia Space built for SES networks. And we are flying on board the 22nd Soyuz to launch from the Guiana Space Center. We're 40 seconds to launch. Soyuz switching to onboard power. Let's watch.
Lagage humain KZM. À tous de DDO, attention pour le début de la séquence d'allumage du lanceur. Top, à 0-20 secondes. Lagage humain VKM, allumage triétage. À tous de DDO, attention pour le décompte final. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Top, décollage UVS 22. La propulsion est nominale.
We are off. The next 4 satellites in the O3b constellation have started their journey. Our cameras following the launcher there as she lifted off from the pad here in the Amazon rainforest. He's telling us that everything is going according to plan. Those 4 boosters are doing all the work right now. They're hauling us away from the gravity of our planet. They burn for a couple of minutes, but that's enough to get us away from the pull of Earth.
La propulsion est nominale.
And their propulsion is normal. Nominal means normal. Bottom left-hand side of the screen, 37 kilometers above the Earth right now and climbing. This is the scheduled moment for the boosters to be jettisoned. And that's what it looks like up there. Cameras on a previous launch. See how they twist and turn. That's all planned.
Séparation des boosters.
And that's been confirmed. We have separated our boosters. And I can hear the sound of the Soyuz here now over the Mission Control Center, which is about 20 kilometers from the pad. It takes a while for the sound to get to us. Trajectory on the top right-hand side, the planned trajectory is the yellow curve, and the cross is the actual position of the launch vehicle. You can see that we're climbing. Our distance in the middle of the bottom of the screen is the distance from the pad if you were to draw a straight line from the pad to the position where the launcher is. And then our speed on the bottom right. Speed on the bottom right is our speed per second, kilometers per second. We're traveling at 2.19 kilometers per second. As we turn around, we're getting a good shot here of the fairing. That's the top of the launch vehicle, and inside there are our satellites. It's protecting us from the rigors of the launch, various things, the sound at liftoff, the acoustic vibrations at liftoff. Don't think you need me to tell you how loud that is.
Le lanceur est stable.
He's telling us the launch vehicle is stable. And also, of course, friction, because if you look at the bottom right-hand side of the left-hand side of the screen, we are now 120 kilometers above Earth. Until now, we've been flying through the dense part of the atmosphere, But we no longer have friction because we are in space. So we can jettison our fairing.
Séparation de la coiffe.
And that's now been confirmed. We have jettisoned the fairing, and we can see our satellites for the first time. The 4 O3b satellites at the front attached to their special dispenser. And in the middle, can you see a gap between the third stage and the second stage? Well, that's there on purpose with the lattice area. That's because Soyuz uses what's called a hot stage technique. It switches on the engine of the third stage while the second stage is still burning, and that allows the evacuation. So,
Séparation bloc A.
And we have confirmation there that we've now separated the second stage, the block A, and we have jettisoned the rear section. So we are now burning the third stage, and our flight path, you can see it there. We're travelling along the equator, so we've lifted off from the pad. The Galileo is the tracking station here at the Guiana Space Centre. And the next one to pick us up will be the Natal tracking station. So this is the scheduled separation now of the third stage, and that's what it looks like up there.
Séparation frégate.
And we have that confirmed by the range operations manager. We've separated the third stage, and we are getting close now to the next phase of the journey where the upper stage will take the wheel. It's preparing to switch its engine on. This is called the pre-burn phase, giving a quick burst of acceleration. You can't really see it, but it's pushing the fluids back into the tanks. And that's to make sure that there is enough propellant to ignite the engine properly. It's a bit like when you press the accelerator in the car and you suddenly speed up and you get pushed back against the seat. This is the scheduled time then for Frigate to switch its engine on for the first burn. So the upper frigate stage scheduled there to switch its engine off. So we are now coming closer to separating our two satellites. We call it separating. What we mean is delivering them, because right now they're attached and they have to separate from the launch vehicle. If you think of it as a sophisticated taxi driver, this is the point where it'll be dropping them off and opening the doors to let them out. But it's a rather more carefully planned set of procedures. Very, very, very precise set of orientation maneuvers. I don't know if you can see some sparkles there, which might be the nozzles. The frigate upper stage has some little nozzles on it which help it to orientate. So this is the scheduled separation time for the first two satellites. We will wait for the range operations manager to confirm this separation, but this is what it looks like up there. We have the two satellites. There's one coming towards us and there is one on the other side. You just can't see it right now. Moving both away from each other, diametrically opposed. We call this collision avoidance to make sure that nothing bangs into anything else. It's all very carefully planned. Look at the top right-hand side of your screen and you can see that we were climbing into space. And we've plateaued out because we're on our orbit. We're not climbing anymore. Our altitude, 7,836 kilometers. This is our separation altitude. The separation moment here for the next two satellites, but we will of course wait as always for our range operations manager to confirm that. But that's what it looks like. The other two, we're getting a better angle on it this time round because we can actually see both of them and how they move away in that diametrically opposed position. And you can also see now what's left of the launch vehicle, which is the frigate upper stage, with the dispenser in the middle, that tube that we could see back there. Now, we're waiting for a couple of things because we need the range operations manager to confirm to us that our satellites are indeed separated. And we also then want to find out if all is going well in space. And so the teams on the ground will be waiting for a signal.
Confirmation du succès de la mission VS22.
And we have confirmation that the mission is a success. The satellites have called home. We've received the signal.